Stop number 22 on the NNSCRA Pizza Hut Truck Series brings us to Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia, as we're season's rounding the far turn and heading for home this season, as we're set for the 75 laps of racing here on this .526 mile paperclip. And last time he was at Martinsville for the Pizza Hut Truck Series, it was daylight hours event race here, and for the first time ever on the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel, we are gonna do truck racing under the lights at Martinsville. I think Seth may have done truck cup racing under the lights in Martinsville. I think one time before. I'm not sure where actually, but Seth may correct me on that if I'm right or not. But anyway, we are here today for racing at Martinsville, and here's the starting lineup for today's running event. On the pole it is Laura Chung in 51, her third pole I believe this season. Next, Imogene Toyota. She's alongside Joshua Osborne going from the Martinsville sweep. He won the last time he was here at Martinsville. Second row sees number 24, Nathan Ormond, and number 87, Daniel Bouchard. Third row sees number 23, Stephen Colon. He is flanked by number 44, Kyle Matthews. Kyle has one of our 3 in-truck cameras in today's race. Fourth row sees our second in-truck camera being carried by Seth Cullen, number 9, the Liberty University Toyota. He's alongside number 16, Nathan Hudson, in the United Rentals Toyota. Fifth row sees Dylan Young, who has our third in-truck camera, the number 2 machine. He's alongside number 18, Matt Haas, in the Safe Flight Toyota. Next row has number 88, Keith Batson, one of the championship contenders this season. He's alongside number 21, Cole Deaver, in the Smoky Mountain Snub Chevrolet. Next row down has number 98, number 98, Kat Batson. She's alongside number 68. That is Zachary Fitzwater in his Chevrolet. Next row down has number 00, Paul Minnick, and number 4, William Brox. It's alongside the Mobile One Toyota. Next row down has number 45, Diego Yepes. He's alongside number 7, Ashlyn Boyd. Next row down has number 33, Jacob Thibodeau. He's alongside number 52. It is Matt McIntyre. Next row down has number 75, Jesse Turner, and number 74, James Sykes, one number down. Next row down has number 99, and that is Carson Gunn. He's alongside number 29, Johnny Gardner. Next row down has Vale Moscow at number 13 and number 40, John Andrews. Then it's number 11, Mitchell Collins, and number 6, Quentin Moore. Next row down has number 17, Pedro Lucas, and number 19, Rob Evans. Then it's Kev Shear in 54, and number 15, that is Brad Stover. Then it's Roberto Crown Jr., number 8, and number 3, Phil Parker. And starting shotgun the field will be number 38, Scott Upton. At the wheel of his Ford, he will anchor this 35 truck field. So the field lined up on the front stretch here with the pace truck in front here as we were waiting the word to fire the engines here for 75 laps of racing for nighttime truck racing at Martinsville. Here comes the command.
Drivers, start those engines!
Command given to fire the engines as we are get set for racing here today. As the pace truck leads the field down the front stretch for the pace lap, we'll be back for the start of the race right after this. Pace truck leads the field pace truck heads on the pit road here as the field is about to get set for the start here at Martinsville Speedway. Laura Chung, who's won her third pole of the season, leads him down to the green flag. A Toyota on the inside and Chevy on the outside. Green flag flies, and we are underway here at Martinsville. Truck racing under the lights, pretty hard to beat here as Chung goes to the outside of the track. And her and Osborne both get off the wall, and Osborne spins in the back stretch and causes a big mess back there in the back stretch. And to make matters worse for Chung, she loses the lead as well too. And look at the gaggle trucks in the turn number 3 here. Kyle Matthews, and I think that's at least the only truck on the pit road as the yellow flag flies for the first time here today. And as cockeyed as Matthews' truck looks like it's got a flat tire here. Nathan Ormond is going to lead the first lap of this race here. Well, no time like the present to see what happened in replay as to what happened. Osborne and Chung both slammed the wall, and Dylan Young looked like he was on pit road. We're going to look and see what happened here. Osborne and Chung got up the track here. I think Chung's truck looked like it moved up the track off turn number 2. Then that let the bottom open for Nathan Orman. Orman takes the lead. Then Matthews goes right into Osborne's truck and causes whole holocaust back there. Nathan Hudson, I think Cole Deaver, Matt Haas, Fitzwater, Ashland Boyd, looks like all stopped. Osborne's truck trying to get started, and yet they're bulldozing him, looks like. And look at all these trucks right there, back there. Deaver, Kev Scheer, Pedro Lucas. I think that's Mitchell Collins right there on the outside. Andrews, Crown, and Upton. They were up. They were. Boy, and you don't see 3 wide at Martinsville for obvious reasons because the track is so darn narrow. But still, that was quite a gathering you had right there. But yeah, they just about had the backstretch completely blocked almost because of that whole deal that happened. On board with Kyle Matthews on this. Poor Matthews had nowhere to go but there when Osborne got right into him and he almost about got sideswiped by Jesse Turner as well in the 75. And there's what's left of Kyle Matthews' truck, the number 44 machine, after his contact with Seth Cole. Kyle, who usually runs well here at Martinsville, well, he's going to have to hope for a lot of trouble out of everybody else to pull off a good run here today. Matthews is, unfortunately for him, well, still on the lead lap, but unfortunately for him, down the last place right there. Dylan Young, who had trouble, looked like on the start though, he is now 34th though, so he moved up a spot though. But that was a break for Dylan Young as well too, after the caution flag fell on the very first lap. But setting the field for you here, Nathan Orman, who started 3rd, leads this race. He pulled up that great win at Talladega. He looks for 2 in a row during this part of the season. Laura Chung is 2nd. 3rd is Stephen Colon. 4th is Daniel Bouchard. 5th is Seth Cole. 6th place right now is 5th place is Seth Cole. 6th is Keith Batson. 7th is Kat Batson. 8th is Paul Minnick. 9th is Diego Yepes. And 10th place is Jacob Thibodeau as the green flag flies. Let's try this again here at Martinsville. Jesse Turner now trying to get by the 45 of Diego Yepes as they come off the 4th turn. So, bad time for somebody to come in and ask me a question while I'm recording the race. So anyway, that's why you missed a few laps here. Nathan Orman is your leader here at Martinsville Speedway. As here, Laura Chung is, as we mentioned, in 2nd position, so no positions has changed yet. Jesse Turner, other than Jesse Turner, has moved into 10th position now, behind Yepes and knocking a couple of trucks out of a couple of spots here. Carson Gummer's in 11th position. 12th is Vale Moscow. 13th is William Brock. 14th is Nathan Hudson. Kev Scheer is in 15th position. 16th is Cole Deaver. Roberto Crown Jr. is in 17th. 18th is Jacob Thibodeau. Pedro Lucas running 19th. 20th, actually was going to be John Andrews. And here comes Mitchell Collins to the low side. Now Andrews holds on for that spot, though, so he's now in 20th. Collins is 21st, and Scott Upton 22nd. Now Matt Haas tries to go to the inside of him. Joshua Osborne, who was the outside pole sitter, dropped to 24th position in the number 10 driven to Honor Chevrolet. And now James Sykes goes to the inside, along with Ashland Boyd in the 7. there's the rest of the truck field right there as Johnny Gardner gets pushed up the truck by Kyle Matthews. So Matthews is in 33rd position, Gardner is 34th, and Dylan Young right now runs last place in 35th position. So that's how they run right now here at Martinsville. But right now, Nathan Ormond, who, as we mentioned, won at Talladega, the last race on the tour, is looking for a second victory in a row. He's on his way to, and he possibly could be on his way here tonight. There, the way it's going right now for him. Took the lead after the tangle up that happened, come off turn number 2 on the very first lap, though. And right now, after 16 laps of this race here, has held the lead every lap so far. Laura Chung is second position in the 51 truck. Then it's Cologne, Bouchard, and Seth Cole. Then it's Keith Batson, who came in this race the points later, is in 6th position right now. 7th is his wife, Kat Batson. So hoping for it to be a 1-2 season for the Batsons in the points chase here. Both have won this season. Keith has won 3 times, and Kat has won once. That victory for her came at Dover. Minnick is in 8th, and Yepes in 9th, and mentioned Jesse Turner in the Food Country Chevrolet is up to 10th position as we go into turn number 1. You're on board Seth Cole's truck, number 9 Liberty University Toyota. Trying to move inside of Daniel Bouchard in the 87 truck as they come off turn number 4. Bouchard was winner this season at Indianapolis at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and a tremendous finish between he and Scott Upton in that race. Seth Cole trying for his first victory of the season. Bouchard goes up the track. Seth moves low, tries to get by him, but that's not going to work for the time being. The tachometer right there on the middle of the track. I know we mention it every time we go to Martinsville, but you see Seth's RPM range turning about 9,200 going into turn number 3, and down to about 5,100 in the middle of 3 and 4. It's going up to about 9,200, about 9,250, maybe going into turn number 1. Last lap speed for Seth Cole, 89.923 miles per hour. His fast lap so far, 90.755 miles per hour, which is only 6th fastest lap of the race so far. Laura Chung currently holds the fastest of the race at 91.069 miles per hour. But she's running second right now behind Nathan Ormond, who is the leader of the race here as they come on turn number 4. Averaging so far a not bad but still slow 70 miles per hour here at Martinsville, but still one caution flag in this race so far. As we're trying to look for a battle in this race so far here, there's one maybe developing between Familia Batson here, Keith in the 88 and Kat in 98. Kat tries to move inside of her husband as they go into turn number 1 here, but Keith holds off the challenge for the time being. As they go into turn number 3 here, Kat still trying to give chase for a little bit, but now she gets moved up the track. Her truck gets loose up the track, I should say. So, single file is up right now here at Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia, as we're about a third of a way through this race here. See a little bit of battle back there here. James Sykes in the 74, Ashlyn Boyd in the 7, and the 68 is Zachary Fitzwater. Sykes running in 24th, Boyd in 25th, and Fitzwater in 26th position right now. Up ahead of them, Joshua Osborne in 24th. Or 23rd, excuse me, for the number 10 truck. Rob Evans trying to move to the inside of Matt McIntyre. McIntyre in 52 and Evans in the 19. Quentin Moore behind him in a 6th truck. He's running 30th right now. A disappointing day for Quentin for now at least. But sometimes you never know how this race is going to end up here as we go into turn number 3 now. See the Batsons there still running together here. The 88 and 98 trucks. That's 6th and 7th on your screen right there. Keith in the 88. Kat in the 98 there. Kat being short for Kathy, that is. Or Kathleen, I guess. I guess is her full name here. I thought here. Either way, it's short for those two names actually, but still, she's running right now in 7th position. Kat's win came at Dover, and Keith's wins came at, I believe it's let's see, Sonoma was one of those races. He also won Charlotte as well too in the last race on the tour, or not last race on the tour, excuse me, the next race after Sonoma. And then Kat kept it in the family when she won Dover, and Laura Chung's got problems in the 51 truck. Oh my gosh, Chung, who was the pulser for the event, and her truck is stalled in turns 1 and 2. And everybody else getting by, and the yellow flag is flown for the 2nd time here, and Ormond keeps lead, but that's going to put Stephen Cologne now up to 2nd place now, with Bouchard 3rd, Seth Cole 4th, and now Keith Batson currently runs in 5th position. Oh my, heartbreaker for Laura Chung, who's been having some darn good runs the last few races, and which started with her pole at Watkins Glen. And now she had a 2nd place run going on at Martinsville until this happened. She moves to the inside, and the truck, unfortunately, suffers some sort of mechanical failure on the number 51 Dex Imaging Toyota. And suddenly her truck's slowing down and stops on the curbing in turn number 1. So that's going to put Laura out of the race, I'm sure. Yes, it does. And we're getting word it's a clutch failure on Laura's truck. So, Dylan Young, you're not going to finish dead last in this race. But, like I said, an unfortunate break for the number 51 team. We will be set for the restart here in just a moment. Back at Martinsville Speedway here as the pace truck now comes off on the pit road. As we'll restart here on lap number 38, so we'll be almost halfway home. It's Nathan Orman, the leader, and now it's Stephen Cologne, now 2nd position. 3rd is now Daniel Bouchard and Seth Cole in 4th, and Keith Batson currently in 5th as the green flag flies. The GMS Motorsports Chevrolets 1st and 2nd right now, and we're back underway. And Kat Batson now moving to the inside of her husband Keith into turn number 1. As their battle rages on from what they were doing the lap before the yellow flag flew. And boy, what power from Kat's truck. She moves to the inside of Keith off turn number 4. And that's going to put her, well, I thought it was going to put her in 5th, but then, whoa, Keith just about made contact with his wife, but the two of the KAB Enterprises Ford side by side through turns 3 and 4. They have been side by side now for a lap and a half. As Kat goes by, Keith beats her back to the line for 5th position now. So good battle between husband and wife Batson. As meantime, Nathan Ormond and Keith got off the wall that time, trying to drive it really hard. But anyway, Daniel Bouchard now trying to get by trying to get by the 23 of Stephen Cologne. Cologne's in 2nd position, by the way. Nathan Orman is your leader. Orman looking for his 2nd victory of the season in a row as Keith again slams the wall, coming off turn number 2. And unfortunately for Keith, for Keith, this is the points lead. And this is the points leader, by the way, in the case of Keith Batson here. He took the points lead away from Cole Deaver after a race at Talladega, where Keith had a really good run in that race. Yepes at the 8th position, Jesse Turner in 9th, and Carson Gum has now moved into 10th position. In the meantime, the 00 of Paul Minnick is up to 6th position now in the Haas Automotive Chevrolet. Back on board with Seth Cole at number 9. He runs in 4th position right now. The number 9 Liberty University Toyota. That's the William Byron truck he's driving. In the turns 3 and 4 they come here as you see two Chevrolets, I should say, leading the pack here. Then it's Ford in 3rd, Toyota in 4th, and a Ford in 5th right now. Off the 4th turn they come here. Seth's last lap that time by 88.756 miles per hour that time by. So the pace is dropping off a little bit here at Martinsville. The pace does drop off a little bit as we go along through the race. Average speed right now has dropped to just under 70 miles per hour, 69.967 right now at this point. And now it's back up to 70 miles an hour, 70.927 miles an hour after 45 laps in this racer. So we're down to 30 to go, just past halfway home here at Martinsville Speedway as the race now enters its last half of the event. Rest of the field order so far: Bale Moscow with a solid run so far, running in 11th position. William Brock is in 12th. Nathan Hudson running 13th. Cole Deaver running 14th right now. Kev Shear having a solid day, running in 15th position right now in the number 54 Anthony Alfredo truck. 16th is Jacob Thibodeau. 17th is Roberto Crown Jr. John Andrews running 18th. 19th is Mitchell Collins, and 20th is Pedro Lucas in the 17. Matt Haas in 21st. 22nd is James Sykes. 23rd is Zachary Fitzwater. Matt McIntyre has gotten around Joshua Osborne, but he is now 24th. Osborne has dropped to 25th. 26th is Ashland Boyd. 27th is Rob Evans. Quentin Moore's moved up to 28th there, so not much headway made by the 6th truck. Phil Parker in 29th, and 30th is Johnny Gardner. Scott Upton 31st. 32nd is Kyle Matthews. 33rd is Dylan Young, and Brad Stover right now running 34th. And amazingly, all these trucks are on the lead lap, amazingly enough. And Laura Chung, of course, unfortunately for her, the only truck out of the race with a blown clutch. So 25 laps remain now as we now enter the last third of this race here at Martinsville Speedway. As we watch Keith Batson now trying to close up on the 9 truck of Seth Cole. Bouchard up ahead of him in 3rd position, trying to find his way around the 23 of Stephen Cologne. As they go into as the front 5 trucks have now pulled ahead a little bit here. Keith Batson now trying to find his close up on the 00 truck of Paul Minnick. So the last half of the top 10 looks like this: Chevrolet, Ford, Chevrolet, Chevrolet, and Ford. So Seth Cole, of course, being the lone Toyota in the top 10 right now. Off into turn number 1 they come here. As now Batson now tries to find his way around Paul Minnick in the 00 truck. One of the best battles on the racetrack right now between those 2 trucks here. That's Chevy and the Chevy against the Ford. Classic battle of the makes. Off turn number 2 they come here as Minnick starts to pull away just a little bit here. Batson seems to close in on the turns, but Minnick seems to pull ahead on the straightaways. We'll see what the margin is between those 2 trucks this time by. About 0.3 of a second between the 00 and the 88 trucks. And these 2 trucks about 3 seconds back of the leader right now, which is still Nathan Ormond. Last lap by for Minnick, 87.569 miles per hour. For Keith Batson, 87.720. So he's a little bit faster than is Minnick, but as always at Martinsville, catching him is one thing, passing him is a whole nother story. But right now, that battle is letting Diego Yepes trying to make it a 3-wide battle into the 45 truck. He's in third position. He's in 8th position right now. Jesse Turner in 9th, and 10th is still Carson Gum as they come into turn number 1 again. As we go back to the leaders here, it's still Nathan Ormond, Stephen Colon, and Daniel Bouchard, the top 3 right now between those front 3 trucks. Average speed so far after 59 laps. Let's see what it is this time by as they cross the start-finish lines. 59 laps into the race. The average speed right now, 73.843 miles per hour. 2 caution flags to slow this race down here. Average and I'm sure these trucks will never be more than glad to get out on Martinsville though. But like I said, the bad news is 2 of the last 4 races of the season after this race at Martinsville are both on a short track as well too. And in fact, including the next race on the tour, which is at North Wilkesboro. And then after that would be at Phoenix, and then for a 1-mile track, and then after that would be on the half-mile track at Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida, home of you-know-who. And then the last race of the season will be back, and we'll still be in Florida for the last half of the last race of the season, which will be at Homestead Miami Speedway, the 1.5-mile track, the high bank track, I should say. But right now, Colon is now falling behind a little bit from Ormond, but he seems to close up a little bit through the turns right now as they come off turn number 4. So the margin is between those 2 trucks this time by was 46 hundredths the last time by. It's now 38 hundredths of a second. So Colon closed up a little bit by about 8 hundredths of a second. So Ormond knows he's got to stay smooth though. He knows one slip and Colon may be by him. But there's one thing this track uses up a lot of, and it's brakes. And then, of course, you can see by the long straightaways and the very tight hairpin corners, which is very much the distinctive feature that Martinsville has. And this track has historically been tough on 2 things: brakes and engines has been the 2 things tough on this track at Martinsville. Tough on brakes because you use a lot of them, and tough on engines because, as we've seen from Seth Cole's truck, you turn a lot of RPMs going into the turns. Around, as we've seen, about 9,200 to about almost 9,300 RPMs out of these trucks. As they come out the 4th turn now, as Ormond now has 10 laps to try to hold off Stephen Colon. Colon, 36 hundredths of a second, the margin the last time between the time behind the 24 truck. Both the trucks out of GMS Motorsports, and you got the Nemco Motorsports Ford of Daniel Bouchard running in 3rd position right now. Then Seth Cohen 4th, and Cat Batson remains in 5th position. Points leader and championship leader Keith Batson right now runs in 7th position right now, behind the 00 of Paul Minnick. But meantime, Bouchard is trying to make a race out of it behind the 23 truck as he tries to go to the inside now of Cologne. As they come off the 4th turn now, we're down. As this completes lap number 67, we'll have 8 laps remaining. Cologne to the low side, or I should say Bouchard to the low side of Cologne. No, Cologne trying to hold them all off as they go into turn number. Or Cologne trying to close in on Ormond's. What I'm trying to say here. And he closed up quite a bit that time by 0.3 of a second even there, and Bouchard about another 0.3 back though, almost. Ormond looking ahead, and I'm sure counting down the laps in his head though, thinking, come on, hold them all off. Cologne took a peek slightly to the low side that time by, and let's see what the margin is this time by. Still the same, 0.3 of a second. Bouchard now 0.4 back of the 23 truck. Into the 3rd turn they come here. Cologne tries to again look to the low side of the 24 truck of Nathan Ormond. Down the low side they come here as Cologne tries to make the pass off, tries to close up on the 24 truck. Four to go. Keith Batson down the low side of the track there trying to get past Seth Cole in the number 9 truck. That's for 4th place. Three laps to go now. Cologne is now close to within 29 hundredths of a second on the leader, Nathan Ormond. He won at Talladega earlier this season, looking for 2 in a row on two totally different racetracks here. And whoa, Cologne's truck, I should say Ormond's truck, took off a little bit right there. 29 hundredths now the margin this time by, but time's running out. There'll be the white flag this time by for the 24 machine, the Allegiant Chevrolet. Off the 4 turn to come here. Cologne still trying to close up, but the white flag is out. 1 to go. I don't think he's got anything for that 24 truck. In fact, he don't because he lost a little bit of time that time by, but Ormond goes up the track a little bit here. Cologne goes low. Trying for one last ditch effort, but it's not going to happen. Off to number 4. The number 24 Allegiant Chevrolet out of GMS Motorsports rounds the 4th turn. Checkered flag waves 2 in a row for Nathan Ormond. He wins at Martinsville. He won in spectacular fashion at Talladega, and he wins here in dominant fashion today at Martinsville from his 3rd position starting spot. He leads every lap in this race, averaging 76.299 miles per hour. You can't say Stephen Cologne, though, didn't give him a try, though, in the last few laps of that race. So he comes home 2nd, Daniel Bouchard 3rd. 4th will go to Seth Cole as he holds off Keith Batson for 4th. Cat will finish 5th. 6th will go to Paul Minnick. Keith Batson 7th. Diego Yepes 8th. 9th will go to Jesse Turner. And Carson Gum will finish in 10th. So there you see the rest of the finishing order for you here. We'll give you the rest of the finishing order here. Vale Moscow with a solid run today, finishing 11th. William Bruck will finish in 12th. 13th will go to Nathan Hudson. 14th will go to Cole Deaver. Kev Shearer 15th. 16th will go to Jacob Thibodeau. Then Roberto Crown Jr., John Andrews, Mitchell Collins, and Pedro Lucas, the top 20. Then Matt Haas, James Sykes, Zachary Fitzwater, Matt McIntyre, Joshua Osborne, the top 25. In this race there, tough break for Osborne after getting stuffed in the turn 2 wall for the outside pulsing starting spot. Ashlyn Boyd, 26th. 27th will go to Rob Evans, then Quentin Moore, Phil Parker, and Johnny Gardner, the top 30. Then Scott Upton, 31st. Kyle Matthews, 32nd. 33rd. Dylan Young, 34th. The last truck to finish this race, Brad Stover, and Laura Chung was the only truck out of the race with a clutch failure on her machine. So 34 trucks finished, and all 34 of them on the lead lap. So that will do it here today at Martinsville Speedway. Congratulations once again to Nathan Ormond, the winner here today at Martinsville, as he goes 2 in a row. Can he go 3 in a row at Wilkesboro? Well, we'll find out as that race goes along. And so if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got in our races, we got gaming videos, we got in our online videos. Whatever the president of the NNSCRA, Seth Cole, desires for his channel, be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup Series, which is also on his channel as well, too. And it's the main series on this channel as well, too. So, and also check out our other 2 channels that does NNSCRA offline series, including X8675309858X. That's Dylan Young's channel. He's the man who does the NNSCRA Spectrum Mobile Cup Series. The man who does the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series is YouTube user ThrashManiac99. That's Levi McIntyre's channel. So be sure to subscribe to those 2 channels. Again, that's X8675309858X and ThrashManiac99. So those 2 channels, give those 2 channels a subscribe because they got some cool stuff on there. And also subscribe to this channel as well, too, that you're watching right now as well. So that will do it here today at Martinsville. For now, this is James Qualls, been a production of the NNSCRA, celebrating 10 years of offline racing at its best. We will see you at North Wilkesboro.